Next up, we have Nhelv by Silentroom, the full version 2020 remaster, featured in BMS, CHUNITHM, and Geometry Dash is my understanding. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever you use, like the video, share the comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server, join the Patreon, subscribe to the gaming channel, subscribe to the Reacts channel, how to request songs if you're not on the live stream members, getting early access to the content. I have a spiel for this and a bunch of other things later on in this video, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video to read them in full. Otherwise, please be patient with me. I am acoustic and guitar-ed, so please keep that in mind. Also, yes, we did do the original version in May of last year, but it was a very different format that we were doing. So we have the full version today. With that, let's see where this goes. Original BMS. Catch you around for this one. Okay, so we start with an initial hit of a drum. We then bring a synth there, very, very nice and distant, very filtered out, giving us a very, very slow melody. But once it resolves, it gives us our initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of a musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. We bring in a very, very cool chord in there. We have a fade in, like a, we turn up the volume like a crescendo kind of thing. And then we bring in what sounds to be a doubling, or we bring the real version, like we remove the filters of the synth to give us the next version of the motif. Let's see where this goes. Drumming, bass drum in the background with a drum beat. Some textured synth in the background. Okay, so we move to a more ambience, atmospheric kind of synth for this. We bring in the drums. The drums are speeding up the drum beat, but we are keeping the rest of the instruments very nice and slow. We're basically doing this melody without removing the other notes. So usually when you play a melody, you will remove the note. In this case, we are just letting the notes ring and just letting the notes accumulate with this kind of stuff. This kind of synth very, very much helps with the design of this really, really good, so it makes them sound even better. And of course, we get what I like to call a flying melody. Flying melody being a colloquial term that I use. Colloquial, by that I mean there is no official academic definition for this, or at least I'm choosing not to use it for the sake of simplicity. And a flying melody is when you have this kind of contrast. We have a very lovely bass, drums, busy middle ground, and then higher than everything else we have a melody, slower, simpler than everything else, just flying above everything else, as we're hearing over here. Let's see where this goes. Little break there, glitches bass. Okay. So we bring a build-up, yeah, we did the short version about a year ago, so might as well, and unknown past the Rule 5, so might as well. So, we're having this, and V2, welcome today, thank you for the follow, welcome to the Mosh Pit, how you doing? So we bring this build-up version, and we are now doing what sounds to be an inversion of the motif. Inversion and reduction. So inversion being a way to develop your material in which you play an upside-down reflection of something you've done before. So for example, if we do this melody over here, the inversion would be us going upside down reflection, basically going the opposite way. That kind of stuff. Then we're bringing a reduction of that. Reduction being another way to develop your material in which you play a faster version of something you've done before, as we're hearing it over here. We're doing a build-up, so we're going to drop the beat soon. And yes, it's the last LFA of the day. So yeah, let's see where this goes. We drop the beat, very... very glitchy. Okay, so we bring in the first drop, very much texture-based, very, very much texture-based, not so much in terms of anything else, we're just glitching everything around. Rhythm-based, I mean, kind of, like, very experimental. When you're making music, for a drop, this works, right? Because when you're making music, you want to keep a careful balance between what is familiar and what is new. Too much familiarity, too much repetition, too much of the same thing, you risk boring the listener, they tune out. Too much new material too quickly, you risk overwhelming the listener, they tune out. There is one universal exception, no matter the style or genre, which is solos, and then electronic music as an additional one, which is dropping the beat. You bring a solo, you drop the beat, as long as it sounds cool enough and it fits enough, you can get away with almost anything. As you're hearing over here, we are very much exploring all sorts of sounds, making this sound basically broken. So yeah, until let's welcome to the head one. This is where it goes. We do have the one snare they're giving us the consistent. Alright. Bringing back one of the synths with some notes. Alright. We bring in a new variation of the melody, a slight reduction of this, developing it further. Very, very aggressive drums still. Let me hear a bit more. We have a bass in the background. Okay, we have a bass, and we have the bass, of course, giving us the bass line along with the drums, and we're having an atmospheric synth, like an ambient synth just in the background, holding the chords that we are doing. Just holding it down, keeping the rest of the sound spectrum filled up. Let's see where it goes. Continuing this. And off the ramp. Not really off the ramp, no. We're not taking more requests today. Alright, drums change a little bit on the rhythm there. New version of the melody. Up to 34. Do you at least have a fan? Megumi, like a regular fan or something? Like, you know, you could do the ice, like the iced fan thing, or like a spray. You know, you get some cold water from the sink. You get one of the sprays, you put the fan on, and you just spray the water like that. It's refreshing kind of thing. Anyway, let's see what it goes. Build up again with the melody. We resolve up, and now off the ramp we go. Off the ramp, of course, another colloquial term that I use. This one is any type of transition that makes your listener feel suspended up in the air at the mercy of inertia, waiting to see where you land. Kind of like going off a ramp. How do you do this? Remove the drums, maybe the bass as well. Sip lots of water. Good. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Like, don't you dare get a heat stroke or anything like that. All right. So we bring this in, and we are of course giving the reduction of the motif, the descending melody. Let's read this. There's the inversion with the drums now. Straight into another build-up. All right, and okay, we drop the beat, and we're not taking more requests today. We drop the beat, and this time we keep the melody. The drums are basically just countering the melody, and that's it. It works. It works. I don't like the sound of the drums. It's just my taste. I don't like how the drums sound. But it works. So. And also the fact that this is the third drop in 2 minutes. Diminishing returns. I'm starting to experience diminishing returns. Because the way that sound design is very important. I don't like it. If you do, then good for you. I just don't like how the drums sound. They sound a little too compressed, I think. So yeah, no, there's something about those drums that I just doesn't quite match the rest of the piece. Usually, this kind of contrast would probably result in a stronger, like the contrast is stronger and therefore it's better. For me, it's just not working, right? But another thing is the way that we're structuring this. Idea presented, build up, drop. Idea presented, build up, drop. This would be a pretty good thing if the idea presented was a little bit longer. but we are doing these in, what, like 20-second intervals? It's very, very fast. It's a very, very fast, very aggressive way of changing things around. Very, very aggressive, and again, that is a risk of diminishing returns. It doesn't mean that it automatically makes the music sound bad. It's just a risk of diminishing returns. Every subsequent, for those of you who don't know, diminishing returns is basically the more you repeat the exact same thing, the more, the less effective each subsequent iteration becomes. Right? Let's see. Let's do this. Some arpeggios in the background. Okay, so we are bringing a couple more synths, very much building those chords over there, and we had another one giving some arpeggios, right? Arpeggio being when you play a chord one note at a time. For example, here's C minor, here's arpeggiated. So yeah, we're having some arpeggios in the background. We're having a couple of the synths giving us maybe like a little bit of a displaced melody. Like one of them is starting the melody, then we're having like the other one. We're getting something like that, like a bit of a displacement kind of thing, almost like canonic imitation, kind of, but they're kind of just, I don't know. Not entirely sure. Not entirely sure. Let me hear a bit more. Straight into the next build-up? No. Off the ramp. Back to ambiance. There's the motif, and very dissonant chord over there, and it resolves nicely. Okay, so we basically hit the reset button on this thing. We are basically bringing everything back to kind of like the start, right? Like we bring back the ambience, we bring back the very, very nice dissonant chord that we had over there. So when it comes to notes, there and intervals of notes, like the distance and the interaction between notes, we have two main umbrellas of what the interactions could be. There's consonance and there's dissonance. Consonance means that the notes will sound well together. Dissonance means that they won't, that they will sound very clashy. In consonance, the notes sound like they belong together. In dissonance, they sound like they're competing for the spot. There is a subset of consonance, which is perfect consonance. And then there's another set of dissonance, which is the tritone, which is instability. So consonance, that is going to be your thirds and sixths, right? They're going to sound very much like they belong together. Then we have the perfect intervals, which is going to be the perfect fourths and perfect fifths. Like, they sound good, they just sound very rigid, very metallic to an extent, which is why they're called perfect intervals. Then we have dissonance, which is going to be your seconds and your sevenths, so minor seconds, major seconds, minor sevenths, major sevenths. Like, they sound like they clash with one another. And then we have the tritone, which is going to be either an augmented fourth or a diminished fifth. And curiously enough, with all the other notes, or with all the other intervals that we might have over here, which is the distance between the notes, if you invert them, as in you take the low note and you turn it up, you get the other kind. So a third inverted is a sixth. A second inverted is a seventh. A fourth inverted is a fifth. But a tritone inverted is still a tritone. It has that little bit of it that it has. And because of the nature of the tritone, we get that instability is the only interval that is inherently unstable, that begs for the resolution of that. So when it comes to these, if you add consonants to consonants, with the exception of anything that results in a tritone, you would get more consonants. So if we add a minor third to a major third, or a major third to a minor third, we get a very lovely chord. If we add the opposite way, we get this. If we add a minor third to a minor third, it builds a tritone, therefore unstable. This is the only exception. If you add dissonance to consonants, you get very, very beautiful kind of sounds. If you add consonants to dissonance, you get this kind of beautiful, beautiful sound, right? But no matter what you add to a tritone, it is still going to sound unstable. Like, it doesn't really matter what you add, it is still going to sound unstable. And that's where the cadence dominant kind of thing comes in. Like, if you're in the key of C major, the 5th chord of G, if you add the 7th, it contains the tritone, which then gives you the tension you need to resolve back to C, which is why the 5th chord is called the dominant, contains this, that then allows you to resolve. So we are getting a very, very dissonant chord over there to rebuild what we have already done before. Basically, we're either... There's 2 ways this can go. One, we either hit the reset button so that we can move into a different direction, or we're just going to repeat everything the same way we just did. Let's see which one it is. And you know what else we took in a different direction? The Patreon. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. If you don't support this channel more than you already are, consider joining the Patreon today. Even if you're not pledging any funds, do join the free tier at least, because this is where the non-gaming LFAs are going. What are those? Anime, film, TV, label music, the kind of stuff that we usually don't do on the main channel on YouTube. Why? What we do on YouTube is inherently fair use. That does not stop bad actors such as record labels, film studios, individual, independent rat scammers out there from abusing the copyright system on YouTube. So in order to just not deal with that for these LFAs, we're putting them here exclusively on Patreon, with paid members, citizen tier, and above getting early access to the content. So if you want to support this channel more than you already are, consider joining the Patreon today. Consider becoming a paid member. You get access to the content either way. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. Thank you to those who are already members, especially those who are paid members, particularly Real Nemesis, French Guy, and Amir. Your support means the world to me. For everybody else, become a member today. Consider becoming a paid member today. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. Linked in the description down below. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. Become a member today. All right, back we go. Let's see where this goes. All right, almost 1-to-1. It's acquired taste. I am on the fence about acquired tastes. Acquired tastes are, like, it's either that you have to get used to it or you have to accept that something bad is actually good. In this case, like, it's something that we have to get used to. I just really don't like how the drums sound. As it goes. Everything else is really nice. Build up synth without the rest of the build up. Crescendo. Nice. New drum beat. New variation of the motif. Reduction as well. So we're having the melody, and in between we are having the rest of the synths giving us those very dissonant chords in between still. Excuse me. Build up again. Back to this beat with the flying melody. Malnourished. Welcome to okay, we're bringing the build up again, and this time we're having a very nice call and response between the synths, right? A call and response is a musical conversation. We're having the main synth above giving us a little bit of a phrase, and then we're having another one below giving us a response instead. Call and response, musical conversation. We're having that really cool. Let's see where it goes. Build up and off the ramp. Next drop. Yeah, I really don't like the sound of the drums. It works. Very aggressive drums. Nice. Very aggressive drum beat. I just don't like how the sound. Alright. Very weird drums, yes. Nice. It's like every hit of the drum is different. Which is a cool concept, yeah. Alright, moving around with the bass. Experimenting. So in concept, we're doing the same thing we did in the first drop. We're just changing how we did it. Yeah. There you go. Alright, there we go. Oh, that was very aggressive. Alright, we take a beat there. We bring back the melody. Same melody we've done before. Just with these drums again. If it worked once, it can work again. There you go. Call and response is there. Nice. Build up again. Off the ramp. Some chimes in the background. Slower drums again. There we go. I like this part a lot. Not as many drums. Another synth in the background. Okay, so we add another synth as, again, we are having a bit more counterpoint over here. Counterpoint being the study, the art of melodies. How they are, how they develop, how they interact with one another, usually in the context of having two or more melodies playing at the same time. And in this case, we have the main synth above, we're having the bass synth, and then we added another one in the middle, adding an extra layer. Let's see where it goes. Build up synth. In the background, resolving, like a French horn sound. I think we modulated. Yeah. So modulation is when you go from one set of chords or one key signature to a different one. I'm not entirely sure if we did or not, but I think we did. Let's see where it goes. Continuing the melody. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the modulation. Nice. Yeah, there it is. There's that weird sound over there, that chromaticism. There you go. Bring this melody over here to the key signature. Synth in the middle, still holding the chords. The chromaticism, the opposite modulation. No, chromaticism is how you can get modulation. So chromaticism, that is just the concept of borrowing from the chromatic scale. The chromatic scale is all 12 tones of the Western music. All white and black keys on the keyboard. Chromaticism is when you borrow from the notes that you are not using. So if we are in C major and I use some chromaticism, I am borrowing from that. So for example, in C major, if I bring this over here, I use a little bit of chromaticism over there to engage in what is called the 5 of 5, to add a little bit of extra spice to what I'm doing, so that the transition can go. Many types of modulation will require you to engage in chromaticism because you have to borrow from the chords that you were not using. Let's see where this goes. Back to the ambiance. All right. Just holding down the notes. Very nice notes. Look like we're entering outro territory. Fully ambience. Hits here and there. Chimes here and there. Off the ramp. One last build up. We let everything go, and we end it. And we ended with a half cadence. Okay, so when you're making music, you're doing one of two things. You're building tension or you're resolving that tension. That point in between, we call the cadence. Now, what we just did over here is called a half cadence. Half cadence means that you build up that tension and you intentionally do not resolve the tension, so that it builds momentum so you can resolve in the following section, in the following piece, so that you can loop back to the start, or if you're a dick, you just leave it there to mess with your listener, right? So with that, yeah, there you go. With that, there you go. Nhelv, the full version 2020 remaster by Silentroom, featured in BMS, CHUNITHM, and Geometry Dash, is my understanding. Good track, overall good track. I just didn't like how the drum sounded. Like, that's on me. That's my taste. Overall, it was well made. So, yeah, there you go. There you go. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is meant to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here, musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever you use. Like the video, share the comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server. That's where everything gets announced first, whether the stream's going live, the video's going up, the channels, updates, projects, giveaways, everything gets announced there first. We have the community there, we hang out, we chat, we steal memes from other people's servers, claim them as our own, where I host a vintage story, community server, that kind of stuff. Also, share these videos with everybody that you know. Use the hype function on YouTube. We have a group on the Discord that coordinates for that, so linked in the description to help the channel grow. Members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays. And if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. So become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting you in 3.5 seconds, I'll be linking in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the main comment on this video. It has the instructions of what to do. If you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim from Monday through Friday. We stream live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick so that you can tune in from whichever platform you prefer. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch, both linked in the description. So if you live in Dulce Silencio, sweet silence, Chile, and you're like, yeah, but what time is whatever time it is in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. Just go to Discord or Twitch, both linked in the description, and it's going to show the streaming schedule up to date in your local time zone, accounting for daylight savings if necessary. And subscribe to the gaming channel. Follow the gaming channel, because of course I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. It's where I put the gaming after show recordings when they happen. We play games on the later part of the stream, and then the VODs for every game we play live eventually end up over here. So subscribe to the channel, linked in the description, or search on YouTube, same username as James R. Basterd, swap the J for a G, and you got it. And subscribe to the Reacts channel. The LFAs are React format. This is where we are putting the Reacts for everything else. James Reacts Basterd. Subscribe to the channel, linked in the description, or search on YouTube, same username as James R. Basterd, extend the R to Reacts, and you got it. And, yeah, there you have it. Nhelv, the full version. Silentroom. There you have it. There you have it. I didn't like the drums, but the rest was really good. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. But, yeah, let's move on. Let's move on.